friends, come on a thoughtful journey with me. I'm going to show you how to use this 6x6 scenery type paper with a special technique, and I think you're really going to like it. So learn more about the paper, get some more ideas, learn a technique, learn how to make a new card, and we're just going to have some fun. Thank you to everybody that joined my mailing list last week, and this is the measurements for those of you that have not yet joined but want to before next week's video. Today is, I believe, April 10th. It's a Thursday, and I've got a whole new technique for you and some new goodies to feature, and all of it's just lovely, and I think you're gonna love it. The base, this time we're gonna use white. This is thick white cardstock, not just regular cardstock. I have cardstock I use for stamping and die cutting. This one is a heavier weight, and I will put all the information about it below. But you're gonna cut it at 8.5 by 5.5, then score it at 4 1/4, and we're gonna fold it in half like a regular card base we're probably all used to doing if you've made cards before. The next layer is going to be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And yes, I hate those 1/8 measurements as much as you do. If you want my secret to success, my crafty ruler, let me know below and I will email this to you. It stays on my desk. I use it every time there's one of those funky measurements. Then your designer series paper, you're going to cut at 5 1/4 by 4. We're going to use this. Then you need the same color cardstock as your layer, whatever cardstock you chose for yourself. And this square, yeah, you'll probably have to hand cut it or die cut it thereabouts, as long as it's smaller than the die we're about to use. But for me, it's going to be 2.5 by 2.5. So those are your cutting measurements. I'm also going to have you die cut a label. I have used this stamp and die bundle, Unbounded Love. Look at all these yummy sentiments. It's just something for everyone. And then I've got the dies inside. Precious, precious, precious different labels. So I've chosen this one, which I just crinkled up, but I'm going to straighten it out and we're going to have a little fun with it. Okay, I have got to do, what we're going to do is let's select, and I am going to tape this down a little. Just get you some washi tape or tape, but first you're going to stick it to your hand or to your clothes and get some of the sticky off of it. Decide where you want your focus. Do we want it at the bottom? Do we want it at the top? And I believe I do. So let me go this way. I'm lining up where I want my focus. This is going to be our technique. This is going to be we're creating a focal point, literally, with the die. And then if you haven't guessed already, I am going to tape it down so it doesn't jump around. This is going to be layered underneath it, and we're creating a hole in our layer. And yes, we're going to use that as well. All right, the magic of TV. We have a little hole in our layer, but we also have our die cut layer, which look, for me, it fit perfectly over my particular cardstock little layer. So let's remove this. We're going to use all this. We're going to use it all because we can. So the reason I do these videos, these free video card classes for you, is to introduce you to me, introduce you to Stampin' Up! Products, and then show you multiple, many ways to use the products that you choose to order. Step 2 we've just done, which is to die cut into our designer series paper layer. Now what we want to do is adhere the brand new pretty onto our cardstock. I'm going to personally use some glue because, and you can use the Stampin' Seal runner, tape runner if you want, use what you will. For me, when I'm doing something this, where my borders are kind of, let's call it tight, because it is, that's what, like 1/8, 1/16 of a little margin, of a little picture frame. The glue just gives you a little wiggle room while it's still wet, if you needed to move this around. And then we're gonna pop this up with some dimensionals. So let's go ahead and just put those in place all four corners, if you will. I think we're all right, not really needing one in the middle. And that is going to go on our layer like this, and then our layer like that. But I've got another technique to share with you before we do some assembly required. So let's stamp us a little sentiment. I think for me, I'm debating which ink to use. Do I do black? Do I do matchy-matchy? And I believe I'm gonna live dangerously and just do a little matchy-matchy. Let's bring in, if you were with me last week, I'm gonna bring in my Silicone Craft Sheet, which is fabulous for gluing. However, I do tend to, in a pinch, use it as padding for my polymer stamps. Look, it has no built-in padding like the red rubber stamps, so we have to add our own. I'm gonna leave that out. I now have a sentiment, so let's set that aside. Let me open up a couple more ink pads. I'm gonna get it back. And I'm just gonna do a little pretty around the edges. So what I'd like to do is bring in, these are the miniature blending brushes. Man, that feels soft. So always start, I tend to always start, but I highly recommend start with your lighter color. And before we get started, I brought in some scrap paper and I'm getting some of the ink right on my brush, and I'm gonna add a little to the edges. And did you notice at all, I started off the edge to bring it on, and let me show you how to clean these brushes. Done. This is all it takes. That's it. It's stained, yes, but it will not come off on your newer paper. So then let's get a little, of the pink color. I'm gonna start off the edge and drag it on in. I get a little more. And you can create as you wish and blend it or not blend it. A little blending, huh? And then let's finish up with the teal. It's called Pretty Peacock. I like to overlap a little bit. So what do you think? Okay, what do you think of our label that we have just colored with our mini brushes? There's full-size brushes, but these minis I love because you get 3 to a pack. You get a good bang for your buck. It's affordable, and guess what? We love affordable. I really like you to just get your money's worth out of something. So that's why I tend to make a lot of samples or do videos with a lot of the same stamp set, is so you can see the versatility. Yeah, let me do this. I want to adhere all this down flat before we get started. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use glue. I think last week I used like 3 different types of adhesive, and you don't need all that. I just want you to use your favorite. My favorite tends to be the glue, but there's a time and place for everything, and adhesive is one of them. If you like the tape runner, which when I scrapbook, I do prefer the tape runner, but when I need to adhere something where I'm like, I might need to move that. Pretend this was a little wonky and I needed to move it, I could do that with glue. So, and let me show you with this. This is called Take Your Pick. See this little spatula on the opposite side of the little pick? Sometimes I can use this when the glue's still wet to go underneath and pry it back up. So I wanted to share that with you. All right, I do have all the sticky. I want to make sure it's going in the right direction. So you're going to cover that hole right back up with your pretty layer. And you see why it's called the spotlight technique? You can do this with stamping and coloring. You can do it with, like we did just here, with the designer series paper. Boom. It sure gives you a lot of bang for your buck, don't you think? And then we can add our label anywhere we want. I think I'm going to put it here and have it overlap. Yeah, I really don't like things matchy-matchy and lined up real pretty. I like my things a little off-center. So I'm going to, because I'm going to overlap it, I want to make sure my dimensionals here are not overlapping the overlap because it would make it too tall. There I go. So let me peel these heifers off. Dimensionals, because why? They add dimension. You watched last week, didn't you? I can tell. All right, now this I used last week as well. This is the iridescent ribbon. If you watched last week, you saw me use this iridescent ribbon, and I'm just gonna do like a fake bow. I'm gonna do a little knot, and I'm gonna pull it up even Steven and give it a little haircut at an angle. And then with a glue dot, so let me get my little spatula back inside so I can use my Take-A-Pick. Take-A-Pick is gifted for getting these little glue dots, and especially glue dots with the kits. When you order the kits, you almost need a Take-Your-Pick, if you know what I mean. Oh, that looks so cute. I'm gonna put this right here, flat, not on the actual label that's dimensionalized, and I just made that word up. Oh, and let's add some bling, and then we'll tack it all down to our card. This is the Iridescent Foil Gems, so it really adds a lot to your card. A couple different sizes. I think what I'm gonna do, you guys, is keep it off the elevation, the dimensional ones, and just put it, do we like it there? Yes. I am a very decisive person, except when it comes to my bling. And don't laugh. I don't know why, but my poor baby bling, it's like I can't decide where to put it. You know how when the waiter comes and you're like, I don't know what I want? That's how I do with the bling. All right, so make sure that's gonna open in the correct direction. I'm lining this little heifer up. You can see it's a very thin, lovely little 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch margin. And you can see why the white is so lovely as opposed to adding another color under that. It just gives it a nice little set without being too much. What do you think? Do you love it? And I'm gonna bring in some more of my little samples where I used this particular paper. This one I love, it's the ripped effect. And look, the pretty is on the inside and there's space to write your little love note. This one I made recently and it's one of my new favorites. And then this one opens up like this. Oh my gosh, aren't these precious? So do you have a favorite? Tell me if you have a favorite. And have you ever used what I call scenery paper before? Have you ever used it? True confessions, it was not one of my favorites until I started using it, and now I am addicted. Mainly, and this card sold me on this design. Isn't that the coolest? I don't know why I love it so much, but I love it. All right, subscribe right now while you're thinking of it and go like this, boop, and hit the thumbs up button. And then remember, tell me in the comments, have you ever used scenery paper before? That's what I want to know. Thank you for joining me. I hope you like this card. When you make it, would you show me on my Facebook page? I want you to post your version of this card on my Facebook page. I want to see what you made. Thanks for joining me, you guys. I hope you'll join me again next week for week 3 of my April series. And remember to message me to add your email to my email list so you get the measurements for next week's card class. Thanks, you guys. Bye now.